Kirk, thanks for joining me. First off, Regina's kind of put their name forward for the 2026 World Cup bid to Soccer Canada. What's the next step?
So Soccer Canada is running a multi-stage process. So we are in the first preliminary stage of that process. They've identified a few cities in Canada who they feel may have the potential to be potential host cities. So we're flattered to be recognized with some of Canada's bigger cities, well-established hosting cities. So that's really a good news story for the city. Right now we're responding to a request for information process with Canada Soccer, which includes information on infrastructure, on past host experience, on everything that we have to offer to a large international event. So we're working with many partners, including the City of Regina, the Exhibition Association as the operator of the stadium, Soccer Saskatchewan, amongst a number of other stakeholders and partners to put that information to send back to Canada Soccer. With that, they'll do a further assessment to see which cities they are interested in exploring further, and at that point in time, more information on infrastructure requirements and funding models will come available.
So to kind of talk about, grass for the field or expanding the stadium, those sorts of things, those are really kind of getting ahead of ourselves.
Those questions will really, become clear in the September to January timeframe. That's when we hope to be working with Canada Soccer to understand what it might take for a city like Regina to be a potential FIFA World Cup site.
So Winnipeg has kind of taken themselves out of the running, and one of the reasons was feasibility. They said, we couldn't do it, so we're not even going to sort of attempt it. Why is Regina putting a name forward, even though maybe the chances are slim that Regina would be picked based on size and that sort of thing?
I think we're really excited to work with Canada Soccer to really understand the depths of those requirements to further assess if that's something that might be possible here. Really excited with new Mosaic Stadium, obviously, and the infrastructure that we've built. We feel that we have a compelling offer for an international event in the city, and we just want to make sure we're part of that conversation, being able to go down a little bit further down the path and make the assessments of the feasibility.
How important was it to have a soccer game here, just a few weeks ago?
I think critical to this whole process is the soccer community. Certainly, Saskatchewan Soccer has been very involved in this process and will be into the future. So I think we've seen a little bit of an emergence of this strong soccer community in Saskatchewan, kind of rising up a little bit with some of the ongoings with the stadium game and things to come certainly as well. So I think that's been critical to bringing this type of opportunity to light, along with obviously the infrastructure development.
What are some of the selling features in your mind for Regina? I know 2026 is a long ways away, but what would sell Regina to a bid?
I think it's the physical hosting infrastructure, so it's the buildings. It's when you think of things like the International Trade Center, when you think of obviously Mosaic Stadium, some of the event hosting space downtown. Regina is unique in that it's a smaller community, but yet it still has the capabilities to hold a national or international scale event. We see in Saskatchewan that when events like the Brier or when the Grey Cup, or looking ahead to next year, the Memorial Cup or the CP Women's Open, when those events come to town, it makes a noticeable difference. The community gets involved, and I think that's really key for some of these events in creating that atmosphere.
What's your response to people who say this is a long shot?
I think we're excited to go through the process. You never know until you walk the walk. We'll find out more information. Really looking forward to seeing what the feasibility looks like. It's an exciting notion that an event like this could come to Regina and we could be on that world stage. So we're just working with our partners to understand what that will look like.
Thanks, Kirk.
Thanks.